Moin, and welcome to the Links! Today we're starting a new series in which I tell you a little more detailed how I do certain things. For this first episode, I chose the topic how I prepare a doll for customization, and hope you'll find that a little helpful. But instead of talking a lot, let's start! First thing you need is of course your doll. I took this Monster High Rochelle doll to show you all the steps. The plan is to remove the factory paint and hair and to sand her body. These prints will then be removed too, of course. Let's start with the first step. First thing to remove is her hair. For that, I used the small nail scissors because they are a little curved and can cut very close to the head. I always start cutting the hair in one circle around the whole head. When your doll has bangs, like this one, it might be a little difficult to cut there, but just go through it. Monster High dolls aren't all rooted the same. At this doll you can see the rows of hair plugs, which you can cut one by one. But some dolls are rooted completely random and messy, so you have to cut just where it's needed. Like this, I make my way up to the center of the hair and can just take off this mess. But as you can see, there are still some hair plugs on the plastic that I also want to be removed. For that, I first need to take the complete head off. Therefore, I use a hairdryer to heat the plastic. Many people dunk the doll into hot water for a few minutes, and I also did this with my first doll costume, but I don't like that everything's wet afterwards, so I switched to the hairdryer. But it's all personal preference and you can do it like you prefer, of course. After heating for a while, the plastic is soft and the head is easy to remove. If you have trouble getting the head off, it's in all likelihood because it's still too hard. Just heat it for a few more minutes. Now I can take my trustworthy old hair plug remover, aka a screwdriver. I take this one, not too small, not too big, with a flat tip that can scratch the glue from the inside. Don't be intimidated, sometimes it's really difficult to remove these plugs because the factory gave too much glue in the head. Just be strong but controlled. I never had trouble destroying the plastic, even though it feels so soft and unstable, so be confident. When you're done, the result should be a bald doll head with a mess of glue and hair inside it. To get rid of that, I just take some ordinary tweezers and pull it out. Like I said, when you have a doll with a massive amount of glue inside, that part can be a little tricky too, because the glue pieces might be too big for the neck hole. Just be patient or make a little cut in the back of the head. With my doll, I had luck, because there were no big glue pieces inside. First part is done, now the next, the factory paint. Now you can also see why I removed the hair first, because underneath is also paint I don't want to have. To get rid of the factory paint you need aceton or nail polish remover, with aceton as first ingredient. I heard that it's also doable with aceton-free nail polish remover, but I never successfully used it, so aceton! I have really sensitive skin, so I'm wearing gloves while using it. Moreover, I want to show you the difference between nail polish remover and pure aceton. Take some Q-tips and cotton pads and you can start. I wipe up this side with aceton and the other one with nail polish remover. First, the nail polish remover. You can already see that it takes some time to get rid of the paint, especially when it's a dark one. It's of course a little better for the plastic because aceton is a bit aggressive, but for me it takes too much time. So, switch into the pure chemicals now. For me, it's much more satisfying to just whoosh over and ta-da! This doll has a lot of dark paint on, so it takes a few more moments, of course. I always like to roughly get rid of most of the paint first and then come back for the small sections. When I'm happy with the result, I give the head a good wash with warm water and soap to remove all the remaining aceton. And so, the head is done! Last part, the body. First, I take my Exactor knife to trim down all the big factory scars. Be careful while doing so and always move the knife away from your body. After that, it's time for the sanding. I don't know anything about sandpaper, so I just use what I found in the basement. Just make sure it's already relatively fine, because otherwise you may have trouble getting a smooth surface back. I usually use this sandpaper sponge, I guess it's for wood or so, and there's a 120 written on it, but it's much finer than a normal sandpaper with this number, so yeah. With that, I remove all the printing and the shiny surface every doll has. In the end, I go over it with a sandpaper called P2000. It's super extra fine and gives me a good feeling. If you're asking yourself why I'm not using aceton for the body, the answer is simple. It's a different plastic that reacts with aceton and kinda melts. So yeah, don't use it there. And that's all for this video. Your doll is prepared and you can do some doll magic. Just have fun and let your creativity sparkle or so. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see regarding the series, let me know in the comments. Until then, thanks for watching. See you soon. Cheers!